guys, welcome back. My name's Chris, and today I'm gonna talk about the 2025 film Werewolf Blood Trap. I went on quite a journey with this movie, and where I ended up, let's just say by the end of this video, I was not a happy person. We're gonna get into it. The movie opens with a guy in a suit. He's playing checkers on top of a bunch of tires while some kids clean some clothes in a wash basin, and I already have some questions. But before my questions can get answered, out of fucking nowhere a werewolf comes in, fucks up their entire checkers game. Checkmate. Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. One hell of an opening immediately grabbed my attention. We're then introduced to a very pregnant woman. She's got a belly, I got a belly, we like to rub our belly. And she's going through a box of old baby toys and starts crying. I have to assume it's because she just realized how terrible this movie is that she's in, or maybe she's acting. It's kind of hard to tell.
Lisa, but you got rid of this box.
I couldn't just...
But we're getting all new toys, remember?
Yeah, but I can't just erase her.
Apparently the toys were from a previous child who has passed, so it turns out I'm just a dick. But we all knew that anyways. And then she gets a really bad case of the shits, I think. She hightails it to the bathroom and shits like it's nobody's business. Either that or she's giving birth, I'm not really sure. I'm not a doctor, but I am a pretty experienced shitter, and to me it kind of just looked like she was taking a shit. All right, now we get to a hospital. Turns out she was giving birth and it's stillborn. So this is some dark subject matter, guys. And the way this movie handles serious subject matter is no joke, as you are going to see later on in the film. So prepare yourselves. So now we know that she has lost 2 children. Clearly this is taking a mental toll. And as she's in the bathroom, she hears a baby noise. And we get this little scene. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what else to say. Why is it in slow-mo? We learn that her husband is a writer, but the publisher has just dropped him, and so now they have no money. They cannot afford next month's rent. They can't afford anything, which maybe they should have thought about before they were planning on having a child, but I digress. They're now gonna have to move back to where she is from and live at their dad's place, but he just happens to have an extra house on his property. It's kind of messy. And during the sequence, we get a common problem with some no-budget, micro-budget films, in which case they use stock footage. And the problem is that the stock footage ends up looking way better than their footage, which just ends up hurting the movie. So they end up moving into the house. They brought all their stuff, which amounts to about 4 boxes worth of things, and we learn the tragedy that has befell her mother years ago. That's right. I think we could all see it coming. It's pretty obvious. She died in a horrible wood chipper accident. It happens.
She fell into the wood chipper.
Oh my gosh. So it's quickly revealed that our protagonist, she struggles. I mean, she has lost 2 children, so she's been drowning her sorrows in prescription medications, which leads to her husband saying, well, you need to go see the doctor. And so they go to a chiropractor. The chiropractor wants to do a full blood panel. He wants to prescribe some supplements. And of course, you can't not go to a chiropractor and get a little bit of that adjustment. And then a baby gets dropped off in a picnic basket in front of this woman's house. Or wait, maybe it's just dog food? Oh wait, nope. That's a baby. Turns out that was the husband's mother. She brings that baby over, bada bing, bada boom, no more having to birth anything. They now have a new baby who may or may not eat dog food and is extremely hairy. I think we can see where this is going. The baby's a werewolf. The movie's called Werewolf Blood Trap, so, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the baby's a werewolf. Time to take a little baby out on a stroll. We got our stroller from 1922. We're gonna wheel this bad boy around in. Time to take the baby to the doctor, AKA the chiropractor. And the chiropractor, of course, immediately spots. He says, that motherfucker's got werewolf disease. I googled.com that shit, werewolf disease, legit. And yeah, I guess you just feed them dog food and they get very hairy, and that's werewolf disease. That's just it. That's it. All right, so everything's good. The family is happy. But that night, something goes down. First, we get this shot of this pig with huge ball sacks. I don't know why it's in the movie, but those were some big-ass ball sacks. Then there's a dream of her being Little Red Riding Hood. The symbolism is in everything. Just think of the balls. Giant pig balls. Turns out this little fucking baby got out in the middle of the night because he's obviously a werewolf baby. We get some sick-ass AI footage of this baby out stalking in the middle of the night. Pretty badass. It's okay, Junior makes it home safe, but this drama has taken quite the toll on the family. You know, they want to go out for a night out, enjoy themselves. They're gonna have their dad watch the baby. I'm sure this will all go great. And of course the dad gets bit by the fucking baby, the werewolf baby, because he's a fucking werewolf. I wonder if this will somehow affect the dad in the future. Will he perhaps turn into a werewolf? Yeah, he will. So at this point, they start putting Nair on the baby to get rid of its hair. And honestly, I'm like 50 minutes into this movie, and I wasn't sure if this was meant to be a comedy, because for the most part, it feels very serious. But then there's things like that. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're trying to interject comedy, or if it's serious. It's really hard to tell because the movie is so poorly made that it's hard to tell what is meant to be a sincere joke and what is just terrible filmmaking. The mom then, going through all this dramatic werewolf baby stuff, she decides to contact someone who can actually help, and that is, of course, a paranormal investigator. Now hear me out, it sounds crazy, but at least a paranormal investigator is a little bit more credible than a chiropractor. She straight up tells her that that baby is a motherfucking wolfman. And we're all like, yeah, we already kind of knew that. I thought everybody knew that. But that does reveal that because it's closer to the full moon, the baby's hair starts to grow a little bit more, gets a little more hairy. So is there going to be a shift during the full moon into full werewolf? And this is revealed to us while our protagonist sits next to a fake fire for some reason. The dad at home playing with his toys all of a sudden turns into a werewolf. He goes out, he starts killing people who are partying, and then that leads to a scene where we get some Enya music. We're introduced to a new character who's like Stephen Hawking Jr. And again, I think this was like, all right, comedy's coming out. And the last quarter of this movie really starts to turn into silly comedy. But then the movie reveals itself and it becomes not fun anymore. I'm not even kidding. There's this whole joke about DEI.
Quiet, please. Show some respect. Both these fine detectives are part of the state's policy of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So basically, you're saying they're not qualified for the job.
That would be an accurate assessment.
And I can tell that this was written by the director, like a very personal note that his politics he wanted to get out. And then I was like, fuck this movie and fuck this guy. Like, this guy's over here criticizing DEI when he's directed 13 movies, and this is your most recent movie and it's this fucking inept and terrible? Like, who are you to criticize anyone? You can't make anything remotely competent. This is a horrible movie that is incredibly poorly shot, poorly written. The acting at times is all right. The special effects are terrible. Everything about this movie is pretty much awful, and you're criticizing people for DEI? And then I went on his Facebook, which was probably a bad idea because it's a bunch of MAGA shit. I saw behind the scenes screenshots and saying that this was day 22 of filming this movie. I'm like, you filmed for 22 days and this is how terrible your movie is? Sorry, so I kind of just lost interest in this thing. The movie does come to an ending where they realize that if they give a little bit of silver medicine to the dad and the child, that they will keep their werewolf transformations at bay. We get a little of a jump to the future where now the kid is semi-grown up and he's catching frisbees in his mouth because he's still wolf-like in some ways. And then the movie ends. And congratulations, I'm now dumber for having watched this terrible movie. Don't watch it. It was awful. I'm not even gonna make a joke about recommending it. That DEI choke fucking ruined the whole fucking movie for me. So, yeah, this movie sucks. I got nothing positive to say about the creators behind the movie. They can eat a bag of dicks, and that's the end.